I wonder how many hopes, I wonder how many dreams, I wonder how many ambitions arrived at this station. This is Leytonstone. This was a home to so many South Africans. I've not been back for many years, and I'm keen to see how much has changed. Join me as I go on a trip down memory lane. Let's go and explore. Here's an old tube map of London. You've got central London right there in the middle, and then Leytonstone is on the central line right over there. Technically I lived in Leyton. I had a Leyton postcode, but the Leytonstone station was by far the closest underground station. And yes, it's still got the same monument here, the buses, I think the train on top there, signifying this is the place where the buses and the trains meet, at this underground station. You can see there's the tube, the central line arriving into the station, and I would take the central line here to London. Takes about 20 to 25 minutes depending on where you go. The station still looks the same. You still have the same shop here outside. And there's the roundel of the underground. The bus stations, everything looks familiar. The bus numbers. Anyways, let's go here through the station. And it's a very interesting one. On the 13th of August 1899, Alfred Hitchcock was born here in Leytonstone. And the tube station depicts a lot of his movies, and here's an image of him directing people at work. The master of suspense, Psycho, the famous 1960 movie with a shower scene. Ticket shop, I remember, was here. This is a new coffee shop though. Yes, I would top up my weekly travel card, my Oyster card here. Everything looks familiar here, except the coffee shop, that's new. More depictions here, the birds, 1963. And oh yes, here we go. This brings back so many memories. Oh my goodness. It looks so familiar, it's unbelievable. You still have a Parisian cafe over there. You've even got the chicken and pizza shop. So many South Africans would have bought chicken and pizza here, took it back to their shared houses. Oh, this is just unbelievable how similar it looks. I even remember these big stone slabs outside the station and the cafe. I mentioned Hitchcock was born here in Leytonstone, and so was David Beckham and Graham Gooch. Beckham, of course, a former England football captain, Gooch a former cricket captain, and the band Iron Maiden's founder Steve Harris was also born here and grew up here. The band Iron Maiden was formed in Leyton nearby, but many people actually refer to Leyton and Leytonstone as one place, especially if you're from South Africa, because we were pretty much one community. And I've chosen the Springbok jersey on purpose because I am here in little South Africa, here in London. Because Leytonstone is on the central line and rents are relatively cheap in the east compared to the west, it ticked a lot of boxes for South Africans. And a South African community started to form here in the 2000s. Many South Africans would have applied for working holiday visas, student visas. Wow, the 257 bus, an iconic bus here in this part of the world going to Stratford. Hi, how's it going? You alright? People are friendly as well. I've just crossed the road here because I want to get to the church. Yeah, hiding behind the trees here, St. John's. The beautiful St. John's Church. Here's the Church of St. John the Baptist, Leytonstone. You can see there the Church of St. John the Baptist was designed and built in 1833. This church is just as magnificent as I remember it. Before the arrival of the railways in the 1850s, Leytonstone was a small village. It had a very rural feel. And yes, Leytonstone, a very green area. It sits right at the edge of the Epping Forest. And maybe that was the other thing that attracted a lot of South Africans. Access to great parks, the forest itself. In 1947, after the Second World War, the Central Line arrived here and it connected Leytonstone with wider London in a much more efficient way. We had to calculate how much money we had to spend per week to decide what was cheaper, a weekly travel card, maybe just the normal tap and go procedure, or a day ticket. I'd hazard a guess that this church was slightly less popular at the time than the pub that was at the other end of the street on the corner there. It no longer exists. There's another pub in its place, but that is where Zulu's Bar used to be, the famous Zulu's Bar. Yes, today it's the site of a red lion, but back in the day there was a Zimbabwean flag and a South African flag on the windows. The top part still looks exactly the same. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, lekker, lekker. What are the odds seeing another South African with a cap? Anyway, here we go. My first job in London paid me £5.75 and the minimum wage at the time was £5.73. So I earned 2 pence more than the minimum wage. And at the time, I think a beer or a couple of beers probably cost around £5. So you would work hard during the week, and on the weekends you would come and watch the Stormers or the Bulls, or sometimes the Springboks in the international season. More South Africans coming to England. I remember what a culture shock it was to notice the prices of things, how expensive things were, especially alcohol and meat. But yes, after a good night out at Zulu's, you would walk down here, you would go down and get some chicken and chips or some pizza. You might even buy some more beers at the off license, and you'd go home. And you'd go home to often a shared house of 6 or 8 people. And often there were only like 4 or 5 rooms, so some people had to share. If you remember your days as a Safa in Leytonstone, if you were indeed in this area, let me know in the comments. I think this is pretty new. It looks newish. I have to say, walking up here, things start to look a little bit less familiar. Lots of independent businesses. Love this name here. Mum likes Thai food. I don't think this was here back in the day. There's another pub which I think might be newer, the Old Crown. Can't remember that as a drinking hole back in my day. Yeah, lots of charity shops in the area. Of course, an interesting features of urban areas here in England, especially in London, is you got shops at the bottom and you got residential areas, or sometimes other offices on top. Lots of hair salons. There's another Weatherspoon. The walnut tree. To be honest with you, I really didn't drink a lot here in London. It was just too expensive. So I actually don't know if this was there when I was around. I do know O'Neill's, which is somewhere here in front. That is still there because I looked it up online. And that is of course the site of a Old Green Man, a famous inn in this part of the world, which provided some accommodation and a bite to eat to many travellers passing through the area. When I see a plane in the skies here in London, I always get a bit emotional, thinking of how we looked forward to go and visit home. This part of Leytonstone definitely less familiar. And yes, here is O'Neill's. This was also a very nice place to come back in the day. The site of a former Green Man, as I mentioned. Another 257 bus. An iconic number in this part of the world. Yes, I want to take you to the stone which apparently gave Leytonstone its name, which I've never seen. I've never bumped into it. I guess I was less interested in history back in the day.
Roundabout, right?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, walking here, I guess I regret not having a bike in London. I never really knew about all the cycle paths and nice areas to come and get some fresh air. I say that, but you've got hundreds of cars over there. I guess if you shared a house with 6 or 7 other South Africans, there probably wasn't enough space to have a bicycle as well in storage. So maybe that's one of the reasons, but you can just see how many people are enjoying their day out on bicycles. And here it is, the High Stone in Leytonstone. We've got some information here. The High Stone has stood in roughly this location since the early part of the 18th century. The name Leytonstone means the part of Leyton near the stone. And you can see that it was originally a mile marker and showed distances to Epping, Ongar, Whitechapel and Hyde Park Corner. There was a mail coach robbery here in 1757 by a highwayman called Matthew Snat. Snat was later convicted of a crime, and after his execution his body was hung in chains near the stone as a warning to others. So he definitely didn't have a very good day. But here you can see more of a stone. The writing has faded a lot, especially on this side, but a bit of history here in East London. The High Stone of Leytonstone, the stone that gave Leytonstone its name. Many years ago I read a statistic that here in England £1 out of every 7 gets spent at a Tesco. If you were more frugal with your money and you didn't spend a lot in the pubs, you instead wanted to spend your money on groceries, this is where you came. But Tesco, a massive Tesco here in London. I wonder how many times South Africans took out their calculators and did a conversion, pounds to rands. That was certainly a big thing back in the day. And yes, I am actually quite speechless because I did come here quite often, this Tesco, and it looks the same. Maybe this is the South African legacy here. Fire lighters or charcoals. How many braais there were over the years in Leytonstone. And yes, we're not going to go in, but a friendly welcome for us here. The Tesco that fed so many South Africans here in Leytonstone. Anyways, let's head back to the town centre, see what else we can find. I am wearing my Bokke jersey today. I have bumped into a few South Africans actually as well, people who said how's it, lekker brew, people keen for a chat, maybe in part to settle a bit of homesickness, alleviate a bit of homesickness. Maybe that was just a biological, almost animal-like response. When you meet someone from your own country, switch over to the language. And yes, these buses, there's another 257, they are just absolutely iconic. The N8 night bus. After our shifts on the underground, you take a night bus, the N8 or the N26, to come back to Leyton or Leytonstone. Wimbledon, Putney and other areas in southwest London also attracted a lot of South Africans. And Wimbledon even has the nickname Wimblefontein. So that gives you an indication of a South African footprint there. But I'd hazard a guess and say it was mostly English-speaking South Africans who preferred Wimbledon, and Afrikaans-speaking South Africans mostly preferred Leyton and Leytonstone. That was what it felt like at the time. I actually don't know what the numbers suggest. But yes, I don't recognize any of these shops on here. Maybe the Iceland was over there, possibly this home store, and this Polish, Estonian, Lithuanian supermarket might have been here as well. Obviously you don't just have South Africans who settle here, you have a lot of Eastern Europeans who moved here, building a new life here in England. It is a very hot day in London actually. There's a bit of a heat wave, and of course London not really renowned for its heat, and many South Africans in fact miss the weather back home. So many in fact left London, including those who could renew their visas. My goal was always to stay and try and settle here, and I have the option of going back as well as staying here, which I'm really lucky to have achieved. But I know for many they got homesick, and it was particularly the weather that was a big deciding factor. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to have the original authentic USA chicken and pizza. Original American recipe, only in Leytonstone. It's exactly the same shop, and it almost looks exactly the same from the outside as well. Here's the prices in 2026. It still looks exactly the same. Maybe just a bit more expensive, but yeah, but still the same, good quality, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll have a Pepsi, please, sir. Thank you. This brings back so many memories. Look at this. $3.99 for some wings, chips, and a Pepsi. And you've got a view of Leytonstone Station over there. After a night out, or when you finished your shift on the underground and you came back, you would have some chicken and chips. And many had their snacks here, their chicken and chips. And it tastes exactly the same, just as good. This is also why so many South Africans picked up weight during their time in London. They talked of a Heathrow injection. If you remember your Heathrow injection, let me know in the comments. It took a lot of guts to jump on a plane, to move away from your country. Leytonstone, you were a landing place for so many South Africans. A soft landing spot for so many. This is a place that helped shape us, gave us cultural capital. London can be a very difficult place to survive if you're far away from home and you don't have a support network. But hey, we had some amazing times here. And Leytonstone will forever be part of many South Africans' lives. Such a huge legacy. What a privilege it is to walk here after all these years. Trace my steps. A trip down memory lane. Thank you for your contribution to South Africans. If you haven't done it yet, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment for me in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of Leytonstone. If you lived in the area, share your memories and your thoughts. For now, I just want to say again, thanks for watching my videos, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, take it easy.